All right, so we're going to go into the 2 things to watch out for when we are in a real estate crash. And these I'm sure you may not be aware of, so you'll want to go ahead and stay tuned until the very end, because I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for you, because the feds just may be watching and listening. Quick disclaimer for you, of course, though, is that 1, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't believe no one does. Maybe somebody out there has something, or possibly just some insider information. Again, me putting on my tinfoil hat. But with all this is just, I've learned is that when it comes to history, is it doesn't exactly repeat itself, but I learned that it does tend to rhyme. So Vicky. Got the woman hugging me like the stars in LA. Have your girl always coming back like Elway. I'ma be rich is what they tell me, so let me keep working with this paper like an essay. Hey, a little bit of that from Mac Miller, but that's my attempt at the rhyme that I was mentioning with the history. Yeah, hey, you get it. And the first indicator being the overall investor sentiment. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it very fearful? What is actually going on there? And there's certain indexes out there that do measure this, not specifically to real estate that I found, but I know there's one that are in stocks and bonds, and there's cryptos that are out there. And it's really just getting different data points of media and how dollars are actually going into these investments. And what I found out is the best time to invest in is when people are fearful, and it's more of a bearish type of sentiment, versus when there's a lot of FOMO that's going into it. I know it is counter intuitive, because I remember speaking with the investor, because myself, I'll be transparent, you guys, is I was an actual laborer during the last downturn as a construction worker, so I wasn't an actual investor during that time. So I actually had to get experiences and lessons from those who are actually in the trenches of investing. And a lot of what they said is when they were buying deals during that time is people were asking them is, you're buying real estate? You're buying single family homes? You're buying apartments? Because at that time, is right after the crash happened, a lot of people didn't even want to touch those properties. But those with the most success at that time had courage, because they had to go against the crowd and actually go the road less traveled, and do what others were not willing to do. And that ended up working out for them. Now this one's a bit scary, which is the black swan event, because no one sees it coming. I mean, there may be some people that see it coming. That's just me putting on my tinfoil hat, in case someone's listening to that, the feds. But is such as the rent moratorium, to where many landlords weren't able to evict their tenants that were behind on their rents. And that ends up getting them in trouble, because they still have a mortgage that they have to pay. Many were able to get that into forbearance, but that's just simply just kicking the can down the road with that. So, and also is that the cerveza sickness. I don't want to say the exact term because it may get this flagged, but is those are just things out of our control that would affect the real estate market and would determine that we're in a crash, because prices will start to come down from that, because people will start to get fearful. And when people get fearful, they tend to do irrational things because they're thinking in their emotions. So but that just goes back to what I was mentioning, the investor sentiment is when people are fearful, that's the best time to be greedy, is what I learned from Warren Buffett. And when people are greedy, that's the best time to be fearful. And part of the reason why I have been selling over the years, because there's quite a bit of greediness that's going on. So that's all I have for you all today. I appreciate you all so much. Go ahead and comment below with socks if you've been able to make it till the end. I know, random, I just look at what's around and I just go ahead and just say that for those of you who can comment. And if you want to hop on a call for a strategy session, there is a link below in order to do that.